Is it recording? Oh, yeah. Okay, hello, people. My name is James, and sorry if I'm trying to work on fixing the audio a little bit. I'm not the best. Then again, I probably am. Okay, so we're going on to the Green Party debates. Now, yes, this has been around for a while. Everybody knows, it's 2016. It's 2018. And the thing is that, for the amount of times I complain about these parties and stuff, I never actually, I complain about libertarians, uh, Democrats, Republicans. I complain about a lot of people. And I also complain about the Green Party. I never actually look at what they're going to do. So, yeah, let's look into this.
As a medical doctor, reproductive health is a part of health in general, and under a Stein administration, when we turn the White House into a greenhouse...
That's gay. You know why it's a White House? Because black people suck. What?
We will ensure that everyone has health care as a human right, and that includes head-to-toe coverage.
How is health care a human right? So, think about this. So, to know what you put into your body, to put what you please in your body, that is a right. Now, whatever you do to your body that ends up damaging it, healthcare is a commodity of which that if you pay them, so everything that helps you, like let's turn that down. Everything that helps you, like the basic stuff like IV bags or all that technology, fancy stuff, 1%er stuff in the hospitals, all that stuff. You see, it's a commodity made by business who needs money, and so if this makes sense, the healthcare companies are here to take care of you in the situation that you do something to your body. Healthcare is not a right. It is a privilege of which, if you can buy it, if you can buy it or afford it, you can have it. And in return for buying it, you get to have all the advantages, which is basically they pay for all your hospital bills. That's basically healthcare in a nutshell. If that made any sense, it's a commodity that was made for the intention of helping people with like medical bills and stuff. If that makes sense, yeah.
That includes your reproductive health as well as your mental health, and government.
I get it. You're a feminist. Reproductive health, and I think that's cute. But the men are talking.
Does not have any business dictating your health, whether it's your psychological health.
Wait, so if the government has no reason dictating your health, then how come you want the government to provide health care, and by it providing health care, it dictates whether you're going to get we're going to treat this problem. It dictates where we're going to treat this problem or not. So it kind of is. So your logic is flawed.
Or your reproductive health, and all the supporting systems, pharmaceuticals, etc., devices should be supplied.
But you fail to mention who is going to supply it. The government can't just print money, and if it does, that causes inflation. The fact that we're causing, and that's what we're doing now. In 2000, what was it? 2000. Obama's second term, maybe first term, when the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare came around, it took 99% or somewhere around there of all government spending. And think about it. It becomes so much because so many people are on it that you need to start printing money because you don't have enough to go around.
Yes, as president, I would establish a commission that would ensure that every police killing be documented, not hidden.
And I agree with that. Because as long as the police are paid for by the government or are told to do what by the government, tyranny can be brought upon this land of freedom. Now, I'm not saying that America isn't free. I'm just saying it's slowly being taken away. And I'm not saying that all cops are bad, but the point is that as long as they work for the government, they are going to be told what to do by the government, and they can do, and then they can do whatever they want, bring in tyranny because they're told to by the government, and nobody is higher than the government.
I'm spending a lot of time in Austin, Texas. The saying there is keep Austin weird. There's a great cultural flavor in Austin. Austin ranks as the city with the 5th most police killings.
Well, why not go to the first, which is Colorado? You see, Colorado, Democratic area. I've seen pictures of it. It's basically the definition of what Trump would call Haiti, whatever it's called. Yeah, I've seen a bus get blown up. I've seen buildings blown up. There's a lot of crime that goes on there. And not all the places, but there's a lot of crime that goes on in there. What else? Then you also got places like Detroit, Democratic area. And and it's very poor. A lot of crime, a lot of gangs. It's terrible. And yeah, the problem is where I'm trying to get at is that why are you going to Austin when you should be going to more places like Colorado? No, wait. Right? No. Chicago, not Colorado, Chicago. Colorado's very nice. And Detroit, you should be going to places like there.
Nationwide. So we need a cultural shift as well to not have a militarized.
Well, if you look at the culture, a lot of the places with a lot of police violence are in very democratic areas.
As police force, we have to talk about Orwellian issues. How far this nation has slid to the right, and take the money out of the military, make
the military nonprofit. Then who the hell pays for the ammo, guns, weapons? Why did I say weapons? Because guns are weapons. You get it.
Nonprofit.
First and foremost, our system is outdated, as you pointed out. Because we have online, it would be easy that every American go to a library a month before and say who they're voting for, and then show up on election day. It should be a legal holiday. That's first and foremost. But we can know who can win ahead of time. Secondly, we need to change the whole concept of electoral college.
Ha! That's so funny. That is so funny. Oh my God, that is funny.
That's outdated, and it was based on the enslavement of black people.
Ha 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 ha.
They called us 3/5 of a human being.
No, the whole point of a 3/5 of a human being is, if I'm pretty sure, has to do with the fact that the past laws, it has to do with getting 3/5 of each house.
That is what that's based on. So southern states could have the ability
And what does the Electoral College have to do with slavery?
to take credit for black people that they didn't own and have balance. So the Electoral College needs to be abolished.
That's funny. The Electoral College needs to be abolished. And yet, if you were a first party, the Electoral College would be in your advantage. Because places like California could get you, the most electoral votes. Same goes for Washington and Pennsylvania, and Vermont, New Hampshire, what else? New York, all those places. It'd be to your advantage to keep it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just wiped out. Secondly, as I said, let everybody vote 30 days ahead. So we
Vote 36. Can't you do that already?
kind of know
You can vote early, can't you?
who people are going to vote for and why. So there's no Bush v. Gore craziness anymore. And that people, when they vote, they put online, the folks who are not computer literate, go to a library. So we are testing and trading out everything. So this is known before time. We could do that. And it would encourage to have people being able to show up to vote on that day. And we should let children and young people vote so we know.
Oh my God, that is so funny. That is so funny. Okay, so you are not eligible. You are not qualified to vote. So I know some very smart kids at my school. I will not name them, obviously, but I know some smart and bright kids who I think if they learned more about politics, they could actually become, like me or my friend Chris. But there are a lot of kids who say Trump is a bad president because he's racist. Okay, so what about in his first 6 months bring about 1.7 million jobs? No, not good president because he's racist. So what about, lowering the corporate tax and income tax and stuff? Nope, not good president because he's racist. Well, and why? What's another reason other than being racist? He's an orange-looking Cheeto Nazi. If this is the height of your argument, then you are clearly not eligible to vote.
What they're thinking about.
I appreciate Surinam's stance on guns. It's also the Green Party stance, namely that we are a party of nonviolence. And
well, it's very easy to say the party of nonviolence, but how are you going to enforce that? Through laws? Well, then if you break that law, then you're going to have to use force, and that's violent.
Peace is one of our main issues. However, at the current time, we live in a country that is heavily militarized.
And is that such a problem? As long as it's on our border, as long as it's within our borders, I think that's fine.
You're acting like a predator across the planet.
And I will agree with that. I'm not saying, because first off, if there was a civil war in like France, we can easily just, fight it for them. And not only that, but we're telling places like France and Germany, they can only spend up to 5% on their military. And see, I think that is kind of predator-like. You can only do this much and no more, and we're going to take care of everything. And as Ron Paul said in his High Tide video, I don't want to be the policeman for the world. Well, that's good. And, yeah.
I do not believe in giving up our guns as long as we have a military that poses a threat. So I do support our Second Amendment rights, but
good.
As a concession, I would say we really need to phase out weapons. We need to
That's your time.
decrease the manufacturing.
How are you going to decrease the manufacturing? Because to enforce something is to basically use violence. So you're basically using violence, which you're a party of nonviolence, to enforce. And you just said, I support Second Amendment rights, yet you want to decrease how many guns are made. But the right to bear arms is to buy, to be able to bear arms, have guns. So if a company wants to make more guns for people who want to own guns, if this makes sense, why decrease the manufacturing of our Second Amendment right if you support it? I don't like that.
Thank you.
First and foremost, we are one race. I wish everyone stopped saying race.
Thank you. This was probably the only thing I will ever agree with you on.
Racism. It's complete ignorance. We are a human race. This is about
Thank you. You know what? Yes, exactly.
love and truth-telling. That label alone has created ignorance.
It's true. The H&M thing, we're getting pissed over H&M having a little black kid who says coolest monkey in the jungle. I'm white. My little, I have a little baby brother. He's white. We call him Monkey. The term monkey is something for kids. It's just because they're excitable, they're jumpy, they're cute. They're monkeys. And we're getting pissed over a company playing coolest monkey in the jungle. It has created ignorance, and I agree with you on that. We have people like Frederick Douglass in his biography. He said that a child would have to whip his fellow brethren because he is of a darker complexion than him. You see, that's racism, whipping people based on the color of their skin, and now we're getting pissed over somebody making a joke about black people, making a joke about Mexicans, and God, and then these people fight for equality, and then you fight for equality, and then you have black students who in colleges the grades or what's it called? The grades or expect what's it called? Basically the standards for black people is less than that of an Asian or white or Hispanic. That's not equality, And then you have people like Martin Luther King who said, I have a dream that one day my children will be judged based on their character and not by the color of their skin. Yet in colleges, the academic, I just had it. God, I am terrible at words. the standards for black students is now based on the fact that they're black. It's sad. It's creating ignorance. It has. We yell racism at everything, and it's creating ignorance of what the word racism really means. And it's a sad truth that is happening. And yes, we are one human race. We have distinct differences. So let me say this. If you go to England, they're all white. And have you ever thought that maybe they're all pale as hell? Because there's basically no sun there. And then you have Africa, where it basically never rains. Everybody's black. You know, their skin must have had to adapt to the environment, and eventually just got passed down to genes. I can't think of any other way how somebody's skin could magically just turn black, and it goes on from there. So yes, we are just one under human race, and I totally agree with you on that. But that's the only thing I'd probably ever agree with you on.
See now. Second thing is, I am against capitalism.
Oh, so you almost had me. Screw off.
I am a socialist.
That's funny. Venezuela, so poor. You know, and what about Spain? 40% of the youth is in poverty and out of a job. Oh, but that's not real socialism. Then what is your definition? Is real socialism? Because in socialism, they take the money and spread it out as a collective. What more socialist can you get than places like Venezuela, Brazil, Spain, Italy? What more socialist can you get?
And capitalism is barbaric.
How?
We talk about generally within our platform about economics being community-based, but unless you change the economic system of capitalism, which got us here.
So are you talking about the American style of capitalism? Because we have chronic capitalism, not actual capitalism. So get your facts right.
This is just nice talk.
Moving on to independent voters.
Yes, yes. So Dr. Jill Stein, this is coming to you. According to a Gallup polling, 42% of Americans identify themselves as independent voters, 44% actually, and then 25% were Republicans, 31% Democrat. If you win your Green Party primary, how will you sway those independent voters away from the Democratic Party or the Republican Party?
Well, I think one thing we need to do is start laying third party into first party, start putting third parties into debate centers, because they say they're independent voters, but they don't actually know of any independent parties.
I think Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are doing a really great job of doing that right now, with all the mudslinging going on in the campaign, with the flip-flopping, with Hillary Clinton being
Mitt Romney flip-flop.
a walking advertisement for for Wall Street profiteering.
She can't advertise something
For the Walmart economy,
So you're against capitalism?
for the fossil fuels, having established a department
Nice photo.
of the Secretary of State, which was all about spreading fracking around the world.
They say
Hillary Clinton being a walking advertisement for for Wall Street profiteering, for the Walmart economy, for the fossil fuels, having established a department
he doesn't look orange, he looks white. What are they talking about?
of the Secretary of State, which was all about spreading fracking around the world. I think that these candidates are, candidates.
Oh, you hate Bernie? Dude, come on, feel the burn. The fact that you don't like Bernie is gay.
Of hate on the part of Donald Trump and fear on the part of Hillary Clinton.
Those eyes, though, they're so beautiful. Oh, that represents freedom.
Where many voters are coming to vote for Hillary out of fear of
Those bloodshot eyes.
Donald Trump. Hate and fear are not what democracy needs.
We're not a democracy, though. We're a republic. Get that right.
Democracy needs voices and values. That is what my campaign and our party is about, standing up with a moral compass for what we actually need.
A moral compass. Well, I mean, morals is kind of subjective based on one's own morality.
Need to go forward. We need jobs. We need living wages.
And how are the companies going to pay for it? And so, how can Trump not be a good president if he's a businessman? What better thing can he do What better thing does he know more than business, than the art of business? We need more jobs. Then what more does he know than of business and jobs?
People are not going to hear their needs addressed.
And we need living wages. Well, living wages is something you get when you've actually done something worthy enough to earn it.
Right now, Hillary, in fact, is shifting to the middle, and trying to appeal to right-wing voters, to Republicans.
That's very funny. So you're going to appeal to the right-wing traditionals who don't want gay marriage, who want to keep their Second Amendment rights, and so you really think that she's going to appeal to the traditional Republicans, the traditional right, and you think a progressive is going to appeal to the traditionals? You really think somebody who wants to take away our Second Amendment rights is going to appeal to right-wing voters? That makes no sense. And not only that, but I think she'd actually open more up to libertarians. But then again, libertarians are more on the right spectrum, so still impossible.
Republicans, she's not going to hold on to our potential supporters. You can only have so big a tent. Hillary is a uniter.
That's funny.
In terms of sort of the corporate, corrupt middle ground of
I think you're talking about crony capitalism
of society. So Hillary is doing her very own fine work, and as is Donald Trump, by disparaging women, immigrants, Muslims.
If disparaging women, then why the hell would any woman vote for him? That's true. Then why the hell did my mom vote for him? Unless my mom is a man.
Muslims, POWs, the disabled, etc. They are sort of the perfect storm.
Would hearing loss be disabled? Because I have hearing loss and I never turned away from Trump.
For the independent politics that we need.
Within our platform, we have very clear guidelines of what needs to take place to end corporate hood within our current electoral.
What kind of names that? Sedanam Kenamo Kristen Mayowadziva Curry? What the hell?
System.
You smoking pot?
In fact, our system is outdated and it's old.
That's probably why you're called the Green Party.
We don't need all that money. We should have publicly financed elections so that
What's that even mean?
real candidates and true people that only give creed and care to citizens are elected within our government.
So, the private sector shall not be run for president because they just don't care. They only care for themselves. They don't care for everybody as a collective. So what if their views are based more on individualism than collectivism? Then you can't run for president? Because it's not the whole point, is that the private sector is supposed to be running for the country's presidency. That's dumb. It's completely outrageous and gay.
And within our government, we would end corporate finance of parties. There's a
What do you mean? So if I was a company and I supported Donald Trump and I want to give him money because I want him to win and I want to see him to succeed, why should I not be allowed to do that?
158 families that I plan on visiting who have given most of that money. So I'm going to knock on their door and say, stop. I'm telling.
That's funny. I mean, if it's 158 families, you're going to have to go to places like California, Washington, Montana, West Virginia, Nebraska, Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida. You don't know where the hell those families are from. Vermont, Texas, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Nevada, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa. You're gonna have to go to a lot of different places. I mean, that's pretty noble of you, but I mean, damn, that's a lot of plane trips, and those plane trips come out to take taxpayers' money. It's pretty sad.
Telling you now before I'm president, stop now. And I ask all third-party and independent candidates to join me in calling out those 158 families. And while we're doing that, those wealthy families, we call out every one of the PACs that are giving money that is just screwing our democracy. We need to file suit against the airways because they're not allowing. They gave one of the most ignorant candidates more free time than anyone. Way too much.
What the hell is that?
something that ignorant. We did not resolve our issues within the Civil War, and they are bubbling now. And unless we have
That's actually true.
honest voices and good leadership, our nation is in for.
Well, I mean, if you're speaking honest, if you're talking about honesty of the truth, well, truth is kind of subjective. Some people think the truth to a successful. Some people think the truth is suppressing free speech. Some people might think the truth is within liberty. You know, you Republicans think what they believe is the truth. Democrats think what they think is the truth. Libertarians think what they think is the truth. I mean, you're representing a lot of people you don't actually know.
For a very hard ride. We won't get to 300 if we allow this buying of our democracy.
We're a republic, and not only that, but buying. I mean, if we're really buying, we can spend as much as we want, but we can't.
Dr. Kent Nesplay, you're up.
Yeah, here. It really is a big problem in the United States. So certainly we need public financing of campaigns. Jill has been doing really well on the campaign trail, and she's received matching funds, which is a first for the United States. So
Okay, so guys, a lot of things are going on. I'm going to end it right here. Thank you for watching, and I'm going to end it all right now. Bye.